residents and citizens. It's also combined a social economic model with a capitalistic one. And it feels very, very safe, to walk around the streets. So this is number one reason. Also wanted a high quality of life. Here you have one of the best transportations in the world. So the fact that I don't have to own my own car is a huge relief for me. I can if I want, I can just rent a car or take a train, which makes it much more easier for me to move around. So the second reason was a low cost of living and an apartment rent. While other major cities, I'm sure you know, as New York, London, they have a very high cost of living. Here you have basically a low and a reasonable.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully.
Thanks for tuning into our podcast. We love having you here, and it's our mission to bring you all the latest and greatest tips, skills, and know-how to make you the best that you can be. We know that you have it in you, and we're going to show you how. Now, let's get started.
Hello once again, this is Omobola Stephen. I'm your host on Life Well Lived. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen is a self-improvement and personal development podcast with the occasion of experts and professionals who come to the show to share disruptive mindset content on any topics on the personal development and self-improvement. Today, I have Erez Agam, who is an author and a sales expert. Welcome to Life Well Lived, Erez Agam.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Awesome to be here.
Awesome to have you on the show, Erez. Now, I'm looking forward to your professional insights. Erez, you'll be talking about, your life experience, your personal life experience, living in Germany. My audience like to know more, and they like you to expound more on this information. Now, you wrote a book, Berlin Immigration Secrets. What are the major takeaways that my audience can learn from?
Well, first of all, I'd like to address the audience and state that right now our world is changing so fast. It's a bit difficult to track down after everything that's going on. But in general, immigration is booming right now. Immigration is booming, and I think people are immigrating now more than ever. Nobody saw anything like that before. And I think, I came, here, I saw a lot of people from Africa, and I know that a lot of people that are located in Africa are dreaming about new destinations. They want to earn more money. They want to develop their professional career. They want to, start a new life, build a new life. And that's why I think it's going to be very, very interesting for the listeners and the viewers, because, I think one of the biggest issues, one of the biggest difficulties is to step out of the comfort zone. You have a lot of questions. How do I start? What do I do? Do I need to have an immigration lawyer? Do I need to save money? How do I do this thing? Because I think the most difficult part is to start. But once you start, it's going to get more and more easier within time, within your immigration journey. So as for me, I come from a Middle East country. I'm originally from Israel, but I always had this dream that I wanted to live elsewhere. It was in me from a very young age, and I always wanted to know what it's like. And I always had this dream. This thing was always in me. I always dreamed as a child that I live elsewhere. Back then it was the US, the land of opportunity, land of dreams, and so on. But things have changed dramatically. And we see nowadays more and more people are coming to Europe, especially Germany. We see refugees, we see immigrants, we see expats, we see people from all over the world, and the reason for that is because, in general, the reason, there are lots of reasons, but I think the main reason is because Europe is willing to accept people nowadays, especially Germany. In Germany, nowadays the situation is that they need more young labor force, so they still accepting. And even if, right now a lot of people are coming, but then it's not enough, they need more, so it makes it easier for people to immigrate. Now I'd like to tell you myself, because see, the thing is, for me, it was not all about I wanted to immigrate, but I was not happy with my native country. I lived in a very political area, tense area, and I didn't want it for myself. I didn't see any reason why I should not. I always wanted to have a better future for myself, and that's what led me to ask myself, okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What are your dreams, and so on? So, and then when I asked myself those questions, I realized that my future is not there. So one hand, I had this dream. On the other hand, I didn't see any future with my situation, and that's what led me to search a destination for myself, a permanent destination that I want to build my life all over again. And then I started to read more about information about immigration in general, and then I looked into countries, into new destinations, and then I chose Germany. I chose Germany as my final destination, and actually, because there are a lot of destinations out there, people ask me why you chose that destination. So the main ones were number one, a strong economy. As you know, Germany has the strongest economy in Europe and the low crime rate. Germany also has the strongest better conditions and benefits for its residents and citizens. It's also combined a social economic model with a capitalistic one, and it feels very, very safe, to walk around the streets. So this is number one reason. Also wanted a high quality of life. Here you have one of the best transportations in the world. So the fact that I don't have to own my own car is a huge relief for me. I can just, if I want, I can just rent a car or take a train, which makes it much more easier for me to move around. So the second reason was a low cost of living and an apartment rent. While other major cities, I'm sure you know, as New York, London, they have a very high cost of living. Here you have basically a low and a reasonable apartment renting prices. Even now it's getting more and more expensive. Actually, the whole world is getting more expensive, unfortunately. But it's still, if you compare it to other destinations, it's pretty low. The third reason is actually my possession of an Israeli passport, and I'll explain it. So I found out that as an Israeli, I can just come to Germany without a visa, and then once I find a job, I can stay immediately. I can do the bureaucratic procedures from within, and then I can stay. And for me, it was very appealing because I can come with basically without any visas or anything like that before, and this is what happened. Actually, I came with nothing, only with a suitcase, and then I managed to do everything within. Now you must ask, okay, what will happen if an African person with an African passport will come to Germany? So for that, also I can suggest several alternatives. I have actually an African colleague. She's originally from Cameroon, and she was 26 when she came. I think her parents actually encouraged her to come, and she actually started very, very small. So what she done, she actually registered. She actually came to study. She studied in the university. She's done her BA degree, bachelor degree, and that's what led her to stay in Germany. Of course, if you find a job in Nigeria, which can be much harder, you can apply for a visa, but then it can take you longer. So she actually was a young lady from Cameroon. She actually registered. She actually registered to be a student, and after that, after she finished her studies, she was granted 18 months as a job seeker visa. So it means that she can stay up to 18 months in Germany and search for a job. Of course, she found a job, and then now she's able to stay. So what I'm saying is, you got to ask yourself, okay, what is the best strategy for you? Why you want to come to Germany? You want to come straight to work? You want to come to study? Because there are a lot of options. There are artist's visa, freelancer's visa, student visa, and so on and so on and so on.
All right, Erez, how about family visa? How about family relocation? Is it possible?
So there is no such a thing as a family visa. You can come as a family.
No family relocation.
I'll explain. So if you do not have any connection, okay, any German connection, if you are married to a German, for example, it's going to be easier. But if you are coming on your own or with a family, it doesn't matter. You will have to build yourself from scratch. There are no shortcuts. And this is very, very important to understand, because people think, hey, let's relocate, let's immigrate. But things are not going to be easy. And this is also important, that people will know what they're getting into, because it's a full-time job. It's a commitment for a lifetime. So unlike relocation or a short movement, an immigrant will know that he will have to dedicate his life, at least, within his first years. So take it seriously. It's a full-time job. It's a non-stop job. You'll have to work hard during your first years, but then it's worth the price at the end, because then you will have to you'll have a better future 100%. It's now, I guess a lot of
Erez, my question is it easy to move one's family right to Germany?
So I'll answer that, because see, I've done it on my own, and I was happy to do it on my own because I had no responsibility.
You're moving at the same time.
So
that's the question. You're moving at the same time.
So I'll explain. If you are deciding that you want to move as a family, okay, you got to know that you'll have to work as a team, because the last thing that you want to do is create argument within the family. Maybe the husband, he has an idea to immigrate, and then the wife is less interested in it. So first of all, what I do recommend is to speak with your spouse, speak with your kids if you have kids, and then make a decision together. Then make a commitment together. It's going to be much easier, because of course it's doable. It also depends on your character, because for me, because I'm so-called, I see myself as a lonely wolf. I like to do things on my own, because I can, for me, things are going much faster and I can accelerate the process. It was easier to come alone. I actually found myself doing things and accelerate things better. So it really depends. If you work as a team, if you know that you'll have to work together, you can do it.
Right. How about
anything
funds?
is possible.
How about the funds, raising funds?
What do you mean raising funds for
yes,
what?
How about raising funds for relocation, right? Now we're talking about moving your family over to Germany, right? Directly.
Yeah. So why won't you want to raise funds? I mean, just save some money, work you have your social income, raise earn money, and then relocate, immigrate. You don't have to do any funds activities or anything like that. Once again, there is no shortcut. You got to understand that everything is up to you. The world, as I write in the book, the world doesn't owe anyone nothing, and this is the hardcore truth.
That's right.
So I do suggest, do not take any loans, don't do any funds activity, don't do anything that can jeopardize you later on, or don't be depending on anybody. If you know somebody and he's willing to help you out, great. But as a starter, I would suggest